Welcome to the Social Podcast, where no discussion or debate is off limits.
Wow, this is nice. Have a seat. Okay, with that kind of energy, I'm gonna guess y'all didn't stay up to the end of the baseball game, did you? Because we're hurting up here today. I'm just gonna put that out there. Welcome to the Social, everybody. We're gonna have a great show. We're gonna start off with something real sexy, prenups. So listen, prenuptial agreements, they were once believed to be pretty unromantic, but according to the Globe and Mail's The Decibel podcast, over half of Gen Z Canadians polled want their partner to sign a prenup. Okay? That's actually a lot higher than the general population, which is about a third of us that want our partner to sign a prenup. So is this practical, or is that paper perhaps getting in the way of your relationship?
Right, what do you guys think? It's interesting. Listen, when I listened to this podcast, my first emotion was confusion. I'm like, I thought they couldn't afford to buy a house. Where they getting all this stuff to put in the prenup? I know we're in your parents' basement. I don't understand what's happening. But then afterwards, I'm like, I'm quite impressed because they are thinking about their financial future, which is a good thing, and we should applaud them for that,
practical.
right? It's a good thing. What do you guys think?
Yes.
I mean, I know that when I started, Jason and I started dating around 25, we both had nothing. So this didn't even enter into our brains at all. But if I was dating right now, I would definitely think about that. But mine would be in terms of financial assets. What I found interesting about this story is that the younger people seem to be thinking about this more in terms of like other things.
Yeah.
Like other, like, right? Like,
That's what tripped me up too.
Well, it's more like, I guess, like, you know, the dog, the pet we share stays with me or stays with you, right? Which got me going to thinking about, like, is this just something that they've been learning about from TikTok, like what celebrities do?
Yeah.
Is that where this
That's a really good thing.
They've been through too many horrible divorces with their parents.
And they've been fighting over little things. Well, that's interesting.
Maybe that's what I was
It just
thinking.
got so minuscule and so detailed, and it's like kind of the idea if you need a legal document that says if you break this bond that you promised on the altar never to break, I'm gonna get the vase on the dining room table or else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it made me think like if it's getting that sort of nitty gritty. Why get married?
Why are
in the
you
first
doing
place?
it? Yeah. Why are you doing it? Yeah.
It's easy to say, why get married? But there's a lot of hopeless romantics out there like me, and I'm raising one. My daughter, Marqueza, is only 11, and I know she's only 11. She talks about her whole future. And I'll tell you something, I'm raising her a certain way, and 100% as a mother, I am going to suggest strongly, Marqueza, that you get a prenup, baby, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's a very different generation. They look at this piece of paper differently, maybe than our generation, certainly our parents, and they've got different things on the go. So this is the era of the side hustle. Do you know how many Gen Zers have side hustles? If you are generating any kind of income, and that's been all your blood, sweat, and tears, you best believe you better protect those assets, okay?
Yeah.
So protect those assets. The other thing is, there is, on the one hand, like there's a new phenomenon. We've talked about it on this show. They're called the jackpot generation. There's an unprecedented transfer of wealth from one generation to the other right now. There are kids that are struggling, but there are a lot of kids that stand to gain a lot in inheritance in the very near future. So there's something unique about this generation about getting inheritances. If you haven't worked for that, partner, you ain't getting a dime of that either.
Here's wait. No one's arguing that. No one's arguing that. What your father built and has passed on to you, and then will go on to Marqueza, needs to be protected. But when you put stuff like, oh, if you gain weight, oh, if you cheat, you lose this amount of money. This is the part where I'm looking at them going, yeah, it's like, what are you guys doing? This is why I feel like they've seen too much damage from their parents' divorces and all the divorces in their families. Because I'm like, where is this coming from?
Too much TikTok. And like, let me tell you, just on that thing, do you know that Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla apparently have a time allotment clause in their prenuptial agreement?
In
their agreement, Priscilla is entitled to 1 date per week and at least 100 minutes alone with Mark outside the home and office.
You can put that in a prenup?
You can put that in a prenup.
That's amazing!
Like, I don't know. Like,
no, that's not amazing! That's not amazing!
That sounds
Listen,
more like a hostage negotiation than a marriage.
Where's the the romance.
So much. My husband and I'm a workaholic. Ryan probably would want this in our prenup.
Okay, but wait a minute though. Let's just role play this out. So okay, like you guys are having a hard time, and do you pull out the prenup being Ryan? It says 100 million.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
My question is, who's holding the timer? Who's like, wait a second, start now. Okay, you're on the clock. You got 98. Keep going. Like that is not that's not real life. That is not marriage. Anybody who shares a home with anybody, you know that's not how it is. It's not 50-50. It's not 30-70. This is not the way relationships work. So that's the part of the prenup that I think these kids got it wrong.
Like,
you can't
would you
control
feel
everything.
it would mean something if it was forced that way? Like if you and Ryan had something like that?
It's like sex. It's like sex in a long-term relationship, okay? Sometimes you think it's just something, you're tired, and then a week goes by, and then 2 weeks goes by, and 3 weeks goes by. And you know this as a relationship expert.
Okay, but I don't
when you
want
schedule
it
it, hold on. But when you schedule it, you're like, oh God, schedule. And then when it's over, you're like, we should do that more often.
We don't wait.
That's scheduling it.
Wait, don't clap for that. Because what you don't want, ladies, is your husband going at the end of the night going, let me tell you something, lady. Here's a piece of paper. You owe me some sex right now.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous thing for us to apply. I don't think we should get into that.
I love paperwork.
Oh my God.
Okay, I think we're good to move on. Get Mel a paper. Never mind. Sorry. Is honesty always the best policy when you're helping a friend shop for a wedding dress? Huh? Because a woman posted on Reddit to ask if she's wrong to tell the bride-to-be that the gown she liked wasn't as flattering as she imagined it to be. She says despite being asked for her truthful opinion, her friend got upset and called her rude and unsupportive. So is honesty always the best policy, like in this situation?
Ooh. First of all, can I just say, I really hate the word flattering. Like, I hate when people say, I do hate
too.
it. You know what, flattery is in the eye of the beholder. Stop telling people something looks flattering or not flattering on their body.
Flattering just means you're showing off your figure.
That's right, or I don't know, anyway, it bugs me. But I will say, I would like some amount of honesty from my close friends. And I think that that's what you bring them to your wedding dress thing because you value their opinions. I do. They have to choose their words carefully, but I do value their opinions.
You look really hot today.
That's
It's true. Like, I don't understand why you would invite your friends if you didn't want their feedback. That being said, I feel like the ugly comment, you know, it could have gone down a little easier with a spoonful of sugar to soften it up a bit. But if you didn't want any feedback, why invite your friends at all? Just go by yourself, right?
Well, because you wanted a certain type of feedback. Maybe she wanted kinder feedback. This is precisely, I'm not one of these women. Our relationships with women is very complex. And I, for that reason, like to shop by myself. Because if I like it, that's the only thing that matters. And whether it's a wedding dress or a baseball cap or lipstick, once I put it on, and I'll tell you why. I've seen this too many times where I've gone to try something on. The woman beside me, she's also trying something on, but she's brought her friends. She comes out and she's beaming and she loves it. And I'm like, she loves it. And then all it takes is one of the friends to go, I don't know. There's something about it I don't like. And then all of a sudden you see the happiness drain from her face, and now she's going back in to change her mind. I'm like, but you liked it, so why don't you just get it? And I think too many voices sometimes undermines what we really want, and for that reason, I'm like, not all friends are friends either.
But what if it's a really ugly dress?
But it doesn't matter. Here's the deal. What you think is ugly and what I think is ugly, those are two different things. If it makes you happy, then what does it matter if I think it's ugly?
Oh, I disagree.
What does it matter?
I disagree. You go ahead.
I was just going to quickly say the reverse of that story. Like, when I went to go look for my wedding dress, I had something in my mind, which was like a strapless gown. I wanted it to be really simple. I was going to do a raw silk. I wanted it to be white. And my friends, they didn't maybe say exactly what they were thinking about the stuff I was coming out with on. They were kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever. But then they brought me another dress, and it was halter style. It was lace. It had a color. And I fell in love with this other dress.
Gorgeous.
So I think the point is that there are ways to give feedback, come up with solutions that actually you do want from your friends. You do.
You look extra hot in your wedding dress.
I'm just saying,
Don't say flattering.
Feedback. You want feedback.
Yeah, I think, listen, there's a couple things going on here. You going by yourself makes sense. You have an eye for style. There are not a lot of women always. You do.
Yeah.
If there's a woman out there who doesn't feel
help.
confident and she doesn't feel like she's naturally stylish, and because maybe it's not her job, like, you know, bringing friends to have an opinion would be really valuable. And she might really say, please be honest with me. It's your wedding dress. The pictures are going to last forever. You want the people around you who know you, what you like to say the sign off, which is you look great.
Have you ever watched the show TLC Say Yes to the Dress?
Yes.
Have you seen, how many episodes have you seen a bride be really happy with the dress and then some mother-in-law or some sister-in-law and then they change the whole dynamic? That's all I'm saying. Have a sense of yourself and what you like and go with it.
You want to look great, obviously, but also, you know, I just don't know if this person in the story, if they were actually real friends. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
All right, so Canadians will soon have to be photographed when entering and exiting the U.S. That's according to new rules from the Department of Homeland Security. The photos taken will remain on a database for up to 75 years. So, hearing that, does this policy concern you? Right?
You know what it's giving? It's giving, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah.
My whole vibe here is, even though I don't know that this is directly just targeted for Canadians going in and out of the country, what it is signaling from the United States is we don't trust any of y'all. And I think if you have that vibe, in the past, even though a lot of these rules are, some of them are not new necessarily, but the fact that the Department of Homeland Security is issuing these sort of updates out of nowhere for aliens, by the way, the wording is aliens entering and exiting the United States of America. Now, I take offense to that because this doesn't look like an alien. So I'm just like, that right away puts up the position of you're not actually welcome. We look at you all as a potential danger. And if you see what's happening in the United States of America, as many of us do, they are incarcerating their own citizens. They are doing illegal things to their own citizens, let alone people who are trying to make it in that country. So what this is telling me is I will continue to boycott the United States of America because if any trouble goes down while I'm there, whether it's my fault or it's not my fault, I cannot trust Americans to protect me when I'm on their side of the border.
Sad.
We'll come get you. We'll come and get you, Melissa.
Storm the border.
We will storm the border and come and get you.
It does feel like the end of an era, like the end of a relationship, and that we probably should have had a prenup.
About the photos.
Ding.
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
Yeah,
very nicely
thought about
done.
that. I'm the only one who's not worried about this. Listen, the United States is on fire. They're doing all kinds of random stuff we don't understand. But when I get to the airport, I already have to give you a photo. It's in my passport, which is my most important piece of identification. You're already X-raying all of my goods that are in my bag. And also, you have me standing there with my arms like this as you do a full body X-ray. I'm worried about a photo now?
Well, no.
I'm not really. What I am worried about is the fact that they have a new policy and bylaw that allows them to go through all of your digital technology. So that phone, they can plug it into their system and go through all your social media, your bank accounts, everything. For me, that's what I'm more worried about. Also, there's, the government shutdown that's happening right now. So a lot of the air traffic controllers are calling in sick because they're not getting paid. So the safety in the air right now. So right now in the United States, taking my photo is probably like down to 99 in my concerns of things that are going on right now.
I hear you. I'm in this article. What alarmed me was so there was someone interviewed. He's a noted Canadian psychologist. He was at this airport, and two uniformed officers approached him on the boarding ramp. They took his photo. They didn't identify themselves or exactly explain who they were or why they were taking this photograph.
Or ask permission.
Like that, to me, is where the problem lies in there. Because are we now supposed to just accept that anyone who's uniformed is immediately trustworthy if they don't explain what they're doing? Like, think about the possibilities for fraudulent behavior in that capacity, too. Again, I'm with you. Another reason for me not to go to the United States. Add it to the list.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we solved that. We solved it.
We're not going. We're not going.
Okay. So if that doesn't freak you out, this next topic might. Some people on Reddit are sharing romantic gestures that really actually creeps them out, like showing up outside someone's work with flowers just when you've started dating, or when someone orders you food for you at a restaurant. I don't know if I'd be creeped out about that, but anyway, what is a romantic gesture that you've experienced that rubs you the wrong way?
This immediately reminded me of a date that I went on a few years ago. Hear me out. Okay, so the first red flag was he kept on insisting on picking me up and dropping me off. My rule is I don't know you. I don't know where this relationship's going. You cannot know where I live. I don't even want you to know the major intersection. So I politely said no, and then he insisted again, and I was like, watch it. So then he let that go. Went on the date. Conversation was good. Everything was fine. It was okay. I get home the next day, I have a voice note, and I'm like, I don't get voice notes. So I'm like, what is this? This man has told me in this voice note that he felt like there was something special between us, and he could feel that chemistry, and he barely slept, and he was so inspired by our date that he wrote a rap about it, and then continued to perform this rap. It was a very long rap, and I swear, I listened to it, and I was giggling, and then a part of me was like, wait a second, I need to save this for the police, because if something happens to me, I need to be like, and I swear, I had this, I've changed phones several times since then. I had it saved as, if something happens to me, call this man.
Are you kidding?
Who leaves a rap? And he was so intense. The next day.
So one day.
So for him, it was a romantic gesture. For me, it was like, call the police. This man is gonna kill me.
I looked at that totally different.
Really?
I thought, no, I didn't love it. No, I think he's like Andrea Bain, she's connected. So if I give her a rap, maybe she can connect me to somebody.
What, I know Jay-Z all of a sudden? How am I gonna get, I can't get you a contract.
You know?
But also, if you did, sorry to play devil's advocate, but if that's what I do, but if you did end up together, this would be a story that they share at your wedding as a romantic
And then my
gesture.
friends would be like, and you married this man because?
And then he turned out to be Drake 20 years later.
I know, could you imagine if it was Drake? That would be a funny story, but this was no Drake. This is no Drake.
Oh my God.
What about you, Jess?
Well, there wasn't one thing on this list where I was like, oh, that happened to me. I feel left out.
Oh, do you? I'll pass your information on to several men who have all kinds of romantic gestures, and you can enjoy
What
that.
made me laugh is like a romantic gesture gone wrong. Someone wrote everything that Edward did in Twilight, which I thought was very funny.
Let me go through some quickly. Deciding to get someone to fall for them by being persistent. Boundary issues, refusing to take no for an answer. It's often portrayed as soulmates who won't give up, but in reality, it shows a lack of respect for boundaries.
Yep.
And jealousy.
Yeah.
Red flag, ladies. That ain't
But
love.
don't you feel like
That
some of
ain't
these
love.
things, like they come with a little bit of experience as well? Was there ever a point, like when I was young and a boy got jealous, I was like, oh my God, he's jealous of me. But then now in adulthood, it is entirely a red flag.
Yeah, exactly.
But ordering for, one of them was like ordering on the menu for people.
Yeah.
I do that for Simon all the time. I think it's hot.
Yeah,
not a red
it's hot.
flag.
We love that. Okay. All right, so Slate looked into workplace wellness initiatives that some companies are pushing on their employees, like free yoga classes, step challenges, and even diet advice. They found that many workers perceive them as intrusive and a bit out of touch. So should employers be promoting wellness activities onto their staff?
You think so?
Yes. Oh, we got some yeses. Okay.
Hear me out a bit. It kind of, this rubs me the wrong way in a sense that it feels like it could be potentially putting a Band-Aid on a wound that probably needs surgery. Do you know what I mean? Like something that's like there's stuff going underneath the surface, almost like they're trying to cover up systematic, serious problems, like maybe pay that's not going up with inflation. And they're trying to solve those things with like, do a downward dog. Here's a green juice. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, let's work on the real problem
Give me the
first.
money.
Give me that, essentially.
Show me the money.
Show me the money. So it just kind of rubs me the wrong way. Can you imagine getting an email from your employer that gave you diet tips?
No, I can't.
Like, no.
I mean, I think the thing is that like these companies are trying, like I want to believe that it's like, trying to go in the right direction, right? People are talking all the time how they want time and space, and so if you have a gym in there or you have maybe perks to do with yoga, then people can do that. It's when they say that this is when it's happening and you have to do that and it interrupts your workflow in order to do this, that's all kinds of problematic. And I agree with you. I think it's like, maybe it's one thing if it's you get opportunities to choose, maybe there's an extra bonus amount of money that can go towards those types of things. Those things are in the right direction, but there's an interesting thing. A yearly index done by a company called Indeed does this with the University of Oxford. And this index ranks the 100 top publicly traded US companies. And the employees rate their levels of happiness purpose, satisfaction, and their stress levels, okay? Optimal stress being low. And they found that companies that consistently prioritize work flexibility, meaning they can go and like pick up their kid from school, or they can go to the soccer game, or they can go to a dentist and then still work from home some days, deal with traffic, all these types of things in a very holistic way. Those employees are the happiest. So maybe look at that first of all.
You know, I think it depends on where it comes from. Being forced to do a yoga class, being other than, you know, instead of, hey, we're offering a class, those are two different things.
Yes, exactly.
I also think, did you ask your employees what they want? I think if it starts with the boss, that's one thing. But if you ask the employees, what would make you happier and healthier? I don't want to be cynical here, but why would an employer want their employees to be happy? Because they want more out of you.
Or healthy. They're healthy, meaning.
Healthy and happy.
Equals happy.
Because you want, listen, if you're coming from a good place, a happy employee is actually a very productive employee. And so I would like to see you asking me, what would you like? Maybe it is work flexibility. Maybe it is a gym in the building. Maybe it's childcare in the building.
Yeah.
Oh, there are a lot of things that would make me happier and healthier, boost morale, and keep you, if you really value your employees, this is actually about retention. It's about keeping good employees. So if they're coming from the right place, I'm down for it.
The right place.
Yeah, employee retention is important, but I'm thinking, you know, I was self-employed for a very long time. If you want to keep me, pay me. Make me look across the board and make sure that I'm getting paid like everybody else. All of this yoga stuff, it just feels like smoke and mirrors. If I want a yoga class, if I want to go to a workout, I can find those things are everywhere in every single city, so I don't need that. If I choose to do that, what I would like, I wish I was in on those meetings. So I'm like, what I would like is not you putting a gym inside of the workplace, but just say, if I decide to go on a health journey, tell me that you'll pay 50%. Like, go do it.
Yeah.
And if, you know what, give us the receipt. If you're gonna do a run, like I do a run every year, it's a 10K, you know what? It's also a charity, well then put $500.
Like a health sabbatical.
Right, exactly. Give me like the $500 and support the run that I'm doing. But don't put the gym in there, because immediately I think most of us are just like, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me that I have to go to the gym.
I would love a gym in the office.
I know, but you are, I mean, this is a nice way. You're a gym rat though, but you love the gym. But someone who doesn't, I'm hot and cold with the gym. Sometimes I love it and sometimes I hate it. And when I hate it, the last thing I want to hear someone say is like, you know, there's a gym on the
But it would just be there. It would just
I would
be
want
there
to
on the
murder
side.
someone, right?
Yeah.
So I think
Fascinating.
let me do it and then you guys give me the money for it. How
I
about
think
that?
the bottom line is, I think the bottom line is, employers, talk to your employees.
Get curious.
Do a
Get
survey.
curious.
Send out a survey. Ask
Get
us
curious.
first.
Subscribe to the Social Podcast so you don't miss a fiery debate. Until next time, socialites.